He's back!
Finally, after so long, it has been confirmed. I'm sorry if you're one of the people that watched the video that just likes it like streamlined where I go in order, but I am hype after reading this chapter. We finally got the reveal for Lancelot is Sin. You know, if you were one of those people that wanted Sin to be Bond or Escanor, I feel it, that kind of sucks. But us team Lancelot people, the people that were always like, this is Lancelot, this is amazing for us right now. This is so hype. So I'm really pumped up for next week already, but I'm gonna try to do the actual chapter in order, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for so long.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
So getting into the chapter, it starts off as always right where we left off with them surrounding Sin, and of course the group is confused, like Percival and them, like, oh, why are they surrounding Sin? But Fittich is basically talking about how in battle it's the smartest thing to take out the head, which is true, which makes a lot of sense. Fittich, this is like another reason why I like Fittich a lot, because he's really logical. He makes a lot of sense. Like, if you're in a fight, it makes sense to take out the smartest member first. And this next part was wild to me because he pulls out another spell bead, and this one is Perfect Cube, and I'm just like, I feel like people might gloss over this, but Perfect Cube is one of the most like broken abilities or magic spells in Fortnite's like period. Like, this is one of the most broken abilities. It just like negates anything trying to get in it unless you have absolute cancel. So of course there was no way that Percival with hero type magic or anyone was going to be able to get in here at all. The only thing you could maybe swing is maybe Donnie can pick up perfect cube, but I don't think he's ready for that. He's not that guy right now. He's just he isn't ready for that kind of thing. But another thing that I thought was really interesting is when they were going down the list of things that Sin had done that they had seen him do, the fact that it was Sin who actually tripped Percival to make him fall and not necessarily get knocked out. I kind of really liked that touch because I remember a couple chapters ago, I can't remember if it was last chapter actually, when that event actually happened, when Fittich tried to knock off or take off like Percival's head, I kind of thought it was like really oddly convenient that Percival happened to trip. But adding context to that, saying that it was Sin who did that, and the fact that Fittich noticed it, like all of that combined made that moment like now feel really good because it was Sin who did it. It wasn't like random main character plot, which I mean, main characters can get plot, but that one was just like, okay, like whatever. So I really did like that. And Elgin talking about how he broke down his wither spell and explained it to them, and Burgie being mad that the only reason she was beaten is because of the advice of the is because of his advice, and Dornot talking about how he basically brought out Donnie's potential mid fight. So really going down the list, it's like Fittich said, they would not have lasted this long without Sin, which is just flat out true. They would not have gotten this far. And then of course, like every villain ever, he gives Sin this like horrible ultimatum where it's like, tell us everything you know about like the Leonis side and we'll kill you slow, and we'll give you a painless death, or we'll make you suffer and then kill you anyway. Which I'm just like, this ultimatum's horrible. Like, this is a terrible ultimatum regardless. Like, there is no real win for him here. So I just thought that was like kind of funny too. And in this next part, when Sin was talking about like, I meant to tag along with you a bit longer, is kind of weird to me because seeing as what happens later on in the chapter, it makes me wonder, like, is this familiar form something that like he has to be in, or is it like an alternate personality or something, or are they the one and the same? Like this exact line makes it weird. I don't know if it was meant to be like foreshadowing what happens later in the chapter, or if there actually is something to it with maybe there being a separate personality, or this actually being a familiar that Lancelot kind of just inhabits. Like the whole thing just gets a little weird. So then after that, right after Sin doesn't really choose anything, Fittich just goes to cut him in half, but Sin disappears, and then we see arrows just pierce Elgin immediately. And this is like crazy because Sin actually just killed him. Like they even said Elgin is dead. Like he just straight up died. Like he straight up just died like right now. And then after that, Burgie tries to attack him with like the wind sickles, and it's weird because they kind of like pass through his body, like he's not really there or something. Like it's I want to know what's up with the familiar or with this Sin form exactly. And then after that happens, she also gets pierced with arrows and just straight up dies. So then like I like this moment because there's a sense of like panic between Dornock. I mean, Finish is not really panicking, but he is very like confused, and you can see it because like two people just died immediately. And Dornock, you know, in his like frustration, goes to unleash impact. You know, at the even though Fidget was like, don't do that. We're in a very small space. Do not unleash impact, and he just goes for it anyway to try to take him out. It's almost like Lancelot or Sin, whatever you want to call him, did that same thing. I don't know how many people you've seen that like what was it? Where Goku did like the 1 inch punch on like Frieza. Lancelot does the same thing on Dornock, and like he like knocks him down, just full force. I'm getting hyped because this chapter was really dope. He just like knocks him down full force, and in this moment, Fittich uses, you know, this to cut through Dornock, trying to get Lancelot. Like he cuts through his ally to try to kill Lancelot, and then like the paneling, like just the panels are so hype because you see like Dornock's in complete and utter pain, and then he just gets sliced through. Like it just looks crazy, right? Like it just actually looks insane. And then this is when Lancelot says, oh, you have like no mercy even for your like allies. And then Fidget's like, your strike had already taken his life. So Lancelot drops down 3 bodies immediately, all dead. Like just legitimately kills 3 of the 4 dark talismans. And then, you know, Fidget does ask him to name himself, and we get the full view of his face, Lancelot. And then we see like he has a bow and he has like these arrows around his wrist. So I'm guessing Lancelot's magic might revolve something around the arrows. And the bow may be some type of archer type character. I doubt his magic is just arrows or something that basic. It's probably something a lot more special, considering Lancelot is like 100% one of the 4 Knights of Apocalypse. So I am really interested to see like what his magic will be, and we already see that he knows a bunch of other techniques that we haven't really gotten to see, or some that we have gotten to see, with like him being able to conceal his presence, similar to Bond's zero sign, and something about summoning his forest friends that looked very similar to Bond's assault hunt. So it's like he may have more of Bond's type abilities that we just have not seen yet, because I mean we're just now getting to see Lancelot, so I am looking forward to see what more abilities he will have, you know, as Bond's son essentially. So for the next chapter, we may get a full-on 1v1 battle of Lancelot versus Fittich. This could be one of those battles where it's a opportunity for Lancelot to show off multiple abilities or multiple skills, to kind of show them to Donnie, Nansons, and Percy, so they can kind of learn. This could be a good learning lesson for them in this moment. Or it could be one of those things where Fittich is just too powerful for Lancelot, and then they kind of have to work together to beat him still. I'll be kind of satisfied with it either way, because they both would be hyped to me. The only thing with Sin being Lancelot that is a little bit concerning, or just that not concerning, but I'm just really curious about, is the thing that happened in Sistania, when they were talking about the only people who should be able to beat all of these chaos monsters would be someone on par with the 7 deadly sins. I am very curious to know what technique Lancelot did to kill them all, or if Lancelot is just truly that powerful already, and he's just leagues ahead of Percival and the gang. That's kind of one of the things that I'm really curious about. Is he truly that powerful, or was it just some one-off technique, or is he just, like, as I said, just the gap is that large? I guess if the gap is that large, I'm not really too upset about it, because it makes sense. And it's crazy because Sin being Lancelot, like, confirm, this connects so many things. Because if you remember back before, or not before, after they left Kant, when they were climbing the mountains before they ran into Gother, Sin had that dream where he saw that woman. And I don't know if you guys remember, if you guys were watching then, but we talked about it being Guinevere. And this connects back to Lancelot in actual Arthurian lore had a massive crush for Guinevere, connecting back to Arthur looking for his bride. So if Arthur is in fact looking for his bride, there is that connection between him and Sin, and that woman actually being Guinevere. So there's a lot of stuff that's being opened up with Sin being Lancelot right now. I am crazy hyped for next chapter. I'm going to give this chapter, just because I was on the side of Team Lancelot for the longest time, as you guys all know. I talked about like multiple times on this channel. I'm going to have to find something new to just bring up every single video, but I'm going to give this chapter like a 10, just because I am so hyped for it being finally revealed to be him. I would love to know what you guys think about it down below. Also, so what you guys think Lancelot's magic could potentially be with these arrows. I really want to hear what you guys think about that. But make sure you guys like the video as well as subscribe to the channel for more content. And with that being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all in my next video.